Hello there, very good evening. This is Primetime News on TV1. We are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo, bringing you news. I'm Tharusha Kumar Singha. Good evening, Pranajit.
Good evening, Tharusha. 2 months ago, on a day like today, over 200 people were robbed of their lives in a terror attack on our motherland. Again, we express our deepest sympathies for the victims of the attacks.
We also regret the fact that promises made to stand by these people and support them were not kept. Let's now take a look at your headlines for tonight.
Delays in providing compensation to victims of April 21st attacks. Government receives recommendations to take over Batticaloa campus under emergency regulations. President objects to powers that allow Pradeshya Sabhas to partition lands. Presidential candidate of the Podujana Peramuna to be announced on the 11th of August. 3-judge bench requested to examine the Valikada prison incident in 2012.
As we mentioned in the beginning of your bulletin, government claims that steps have been taken to compensate the victims of the April 21st attacks. However, the victims of the incident allege that the government has to date not provided some of them with any sort of compensation.
Crescentia Pereira, a resident of Katuapitiya Negombo, sustained heavy injuries in the Katuapitiya church blast. She breathed her last yesterday while receiving treatment at the Negombo hospital. Her son, Dr. Sanath Pereira, and his wife, Indira Pereira, died on the spot in the explosion at the Katuapitiya church. Relatives of Crescentia Pereira said that she did not receive any form of compensation during the 2 months that she was being treated at the hospital.
දැඩි සත්කාරකේ ඉන්නකොට බෙහෙතක් ගන්නවත් කියලා අපිට කිසිම දෙයක් උදව් කරලා නැහැනේ මේගොල්ලෝ. ඩීටේල්ස් ඔක්කොම ඉල්ල ගන්නවා කිසිම දෙයක් යාට ලැබිලා නැහැ. දැන් මාධ්‍යින්ට දෙන්නේ මේ අපිට ගෙවනවා එහෙම කියලා. නමුත් ඒ දේවල් සිද්ධ වෙලා නැහැනේ.
We inquired into the claims made by her relatives, and when we questioned the Katana Divisional Secretary, this is what he had to say. She sustained severe injuries. We had recommended and approved her name as a beneficiary to receive compensation for her injuries, and we had submitted this to the reparations office. They informed us that they had paid 100,000 rupees. We recommended her name. We even inquired into this matter several times. The reparations office is responsible in this regard. The document includes the names of 230 victims of the attacks who should be compensated. Our correspondent visited a number of other houses in the vicinity to inquire as to if they had received any compensation.
තුවාලකාරු ඉන්නවා 54කට ප්‍රමාණයක් විතර මන්න කට්ටිය ඉන්නකොට මේ උමනා කරන වන්දි හම්බෙලා තියෙනවා තුවාලයට පංගුවක් අයට වන්දි හම්බෙලා නැහැ පංගුවක් අයට වන්දි වල විෂමතාවල තියෙනවා ගොඩක්
අපිට ඉතින් අර වන්දි නම් තාම හම්බුන්නේ නැහැ අපි ෆෝම් 4ක් කැරියා අර හානි පූර්ණයකට මායි මගේ දුවයි බෑනයි ඒගොල්ලන්ටත් තුවාලේ
ඔළුව තුවාල වුණා ඊට පස්සේ මේ කනක් ඇහෙත් දකුණු පැත්තේ කන ඇහෙන්නේ නැතුව තිබුණා අපිට ෆෝම් සෙට් එකක් දීලා අපි ඒක පොරවලා දුන්නා ඊට පස්සේ කොළමින් ඒක ඇවලා තිබ්බා ඒක පැහැදිලි නැහැ කියලා
සමහරවන්ට තමයි දීලා නැත්තේ අනිත් අයට දීලා මට සත පහක්වත් හම්බුනේ නැහැ.
The extraordinary Gazette notification banning the National Tawheed Jamaat, Jamaat-e-Millat Ibrahim and the Vilayat as-Seylani groups were passed in Parliament without a vote in Parliament today. A debate on providing compensation to the victims of the April 21st attacks was also held in Parliament today.
Honourable Speaker, I would like to draw your attention to the steps that have been taken to provide compensation to the victims, as it has been 2 months and it is not properly implemented. When I inquired from the Speaker as to if the report prepared by the interim committee appointed by the President was presented in Parliament, the Speaker added that the Secretary of the President will hand over the report as soon as possible. Was the report submitted to Parliament? It has been 2 months since the attacks. None of the acts and regulations that have been brought to Parliament have been presented up to date.
අද දක්වා ගෙනල්ලා නැහැ. අහපු මුල් ප්‍රශ්නෙට අපිට මේ වෙනකම් පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ඒ වාතාව ලැබිලා නැහැ. මම අහන්න කැමතියි ගරු මන්ත්‍රීතුමාගේ මොනවද අරපටත් කියලා. විශේෂයෙන් තිබ්බා.
There was the one country one law that was promised. Acts regarding madrasa schools, clothes, regarding the Batticaloa campus, and a number of other matters were discussed. Everyone in these committees and even the Muslim ministers have agreed to this. The Speaker said that these have been presented to the Cabinet as well. So I would like to know if what was presented to the Cabinet will be submitted to Parliament.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ගේනවාද නැත්නම් සභාගත කරනවාද? කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලයෙන් අනුමැතිය ලැබුණාම ඒවා ගේනවා.
Meanwhile, speaking at a media briefing held at Temperatries today, United National Party parliamentarian Mujibur Rahman had this to say.
We cannot say that we are satisfied because investigations are being conducted from all fronts. Especially, I think that many facts have been revealed at the hearing of the Special Parliamentary Committee. So I think we will be able to understand the underlying facts and the truth in a few weeks.
Acting Inspector General of Police C.D. Vikramaratne ordered the Criminal Investigations Department and Special Investigations Unit at police headquarters to take suitable criminal and disciplinary action against 9 police officers based on the instructions given by Attorney General Dapula de Oliveira yesterday with regard to the April 21st attacks. This was confirmed to News First by police media spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekara. In more local news, leader of the All Ceylon Makkal Congress, Rishad Badiuddin, made a special statement in Parliament today challenging parliamentarian Wimal Weerawansa.
MP Wimal Weerawansa made a defaming, insulting and false accusation against me on the 18th of this month, linking me with terrorism and violence. He said that the suicide bomber who killed herself in the housing complex in Dematagora was the daughter of my mother's sibling. I publicly challenge MP Wimal Weerawansa if he can prove his accusation. I will resign from my position and withdraw from politics. However, I would like to know, is MP Wimal Weerawansa ready to give up his position if he fails to prove his accusations?
ඔප්පු කරන්න බැරි වුණොත් එතුමා දේශපාලන ඉවත් කරන්න සූදානම්ද කියලා මම එතුමාගේ අහන්න කැමතියි.
A group of individuals employed in the tourism sector staged a protest today.
The protest, organised by employees of the small and medium tourism industry, was staged in the Ettukala area in Negombo today. Protesters charged that their jobs are at risk due to the prevailing downturn in the tourism sector due to the April 21st attacks. The government announced a concessionary loan scheme to small and medium enterprises named Sancharaka Poddo. This is a joke. We do not see any benefit from this loan scheme. When we requested for a moratorium, they said they will get back to us within a week. However, they now ignore us. Meanwhile, Minister of Tourism Development, Wildlife and Christian Religious Affairs John Amaratunga attended the Travel and Tourism Fair in Colombo today. During the event, the minister expressed the following views to the media.
There is no doubt the industry has been affected. Will tourists remain in the island when bombs explode? They all left the country. However, tourists have started to visit Sri Lanka again. Banks and financial institutions have announced various financial relief programs to tourism institutions and employees. We cannot provide compensation to each and every one. Anyone directly or indirectly linked to the tourism sector will receive compensation. I am not aware of that. We cannot provide relief to everyone who walks in. We must appraise the case and provide relief accordingly.
A memorial for the victims of the April 21st terror attacks was conducted at the Vihara Mahadevi Open Air Theatre in Colombo today. The memorial was titled "The Fens of Candles for the People Who Did Not Even Know How They Died." A number of politicians, including leader of the opposition Mahinda Rajapaksa, attended the event. The Sectoral Oversight Committee on Education has unanimously recommended for the Batiklo campus to be taken over by the government under emergency regulations.
An agreement is signed between Sri Lanka Hira Foundation and the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Vocational Training. The agreement is signed by then Minister Dallas Alaha Peruma and Deputy Minister at the time Hizbullah. So we have observed that Hezbollah signing this agreement while he was a deputy minister of the government is problematic. Afterward, a request is made for this institution to be recognized as a higher education institution. But when the request is made, this was not registered at the Register of Companies. The former governor, Hezbollah's son, said that this was given as a grant. But afterwards, they said it was received in the form of a loan. The central bank clearly said that if this was a loan, it has to come through wrong means and through the wrong accounts, and that this loan cannot be repaid. So we see this as a massive irregularity. Was money being laundered here? We also request for an investigation into financial irregularities be conducted into this. Although 35 acres had been given for this project, it was constructed illegally on an 8-acre land adjacent to it. No permission had been sought to construct any buildings belonging to this institution. According to the Divisional Secretary of the North, there are no documents regarding this. Therefore, according to the recommendations, as all the money received from this is illegal and as illegal buildings have been constructed on lands adjacent to those provided by the government, the Sectoral Oversight Committee on Human Resources and Education recommends that all of the assets of the Batiklo campus be taken over by the government. The people who did these cannot even be out in the open. They should be in jail. This institution should be immediately taken over by the government under emergency regulations. We also request for legal action to be taken against all wrongdoers without considering their positions.
I request for a debate to be granted on this issue because these recommendations are serious.
The strike action launched by several trade unions of the Department of Railways from midnight yesterday is still underway.
The Department of Railways state that multiple trains that were due to operate this evening were cancelled. Superintendent of the Railways Department, Gamini Senaviratna, said that 8 trains, including the staff train, will operate this evening. The general public is facing inconveniences due to the ongoing strike.
රටේ ඉන්න නායකයෝ දැනගන්න ඕනේ මේ ඔය කරන්නේ ඔක්කොම මගී ජනතාව තමයි අපහසුතාවට පත් වෙන්නේ ඉතින් මේවා. මම ඕක තමයි කරන්නේ මිනිස්සුන්ට මේ අපහසුතාවට පත් වෙනවා මේ කෝච්චිත් නැහැ බස් වල රස්තාදු වෙන්න දෙන්නේ. රටේ ආණ්ඩුවක් තියනවාද කියලා හොයන්න ඕන දැන් ප්‍රශ්නේ වෙලා තින්නේ ඒක තමයි.
40 train operations were cancelled this morning due to the ongoing train strike. The strike was launched after talks with the Minister of Finance over the failure to implement the cabinet paper to remove existing railway employee salary anomalies failed.
On the 16th of May 2018, we held a discussion with the President. He promised that our request will be fulfilled. Thereafter, we discussed this matter with the Finance Minister. However, they have not fulfilled our requests till date. He said that due to the opposition of some officials of the Finance Ministry, he cannot agree. However, there is no reason for such officials to disagree.
The Sri Lanka Transport Board says that measures in its maximum capacity have been implemented to minimize the inconvenience caused to the general public.
Fort railway station usually at this time of the day is the busiest because people are going back to their homes after work, but because of the trade union action, they are facing difficulties to travel through train. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Sahani Vikramasinghe.
Now, the Mahanayaka of the Askiri chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Warakagoda Jnana Ratanathera, issued a special statement to the media today. He was clarifying facts on a statement he made previously.
I
can see there are attempts by a certain group to misinterpret some advice that I gave. The statements that I made regarding the United National Party and the Muslim community were matters that were discussed among the general public. We know the United National Party began and was nourished by leaders such as Honorable D.S. Senanayaka. The party rendered a great service to the people, the nation and religion. Today, due to certain weaknesses in the UNP, there is dissatisfaction among the people. There is much fear and displeasure against the government after the acts of a few extremists claimed the lives of hundreds of people in the country. The people expect the government to conduct an investigation into this incident and punish the perpetrators of this attack. If this is not done, the people will undoubtedly express their displeasure against the government. We have no hate against the government or the Muslim community. Just like the Sinhalese, Tamil and Muslim communities coexisted in the past, our hope is that the communities can continue to coexist in the same way in the future.
Muslim Janata Bhukalya Sahodaratvi සුහදත්වයෙන් ජීවත් වුණා වගේම ඉදිරියට එලෙසම ක්‍රියා කිරීමයි අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වන්නේ.
One of the headline-making stories, these were the views expressed in the political arena regarding the candidate for the upcoming presidential elections.
During the previous presidential election, the presidential candidate was only announced after the date for the presidential election was declared. So even this year, we will announce the names after the date for the election is declared. The party represented by Mahinda Rajapaksa will officially announce the name of its candidate on the 11th of August during its national conference. A while ago, Bassett Rajapaksa stated that he does not wish to accept any ministerial positions, even at the request of anyone. He said that his objective is to bring the victory to the party and to make Mahinda Rajapaksa and Gotabaya Rajapaksa win.
Minister of Justice Talatatu Korala expressed the following views at an event held in Kahawatta yesterday.
We are all waiting in hope that Sajith Premadasa will become the next president. That is the hope of everyone present here. That will happen for sure. Do not have any doubts about it. We will make a candidate from our party, the president, who cares for the poor and a person who works for the people. Until we get the blessings of our party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe and give this opportunity to Sajith Premadasa, I make one request from all of y'all. Please, do not try to underestimate the work done by this government.
Headline making news now, a discussion on amendments to the Land Act was held at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. The meeting was chaired by President Maithripala Sirisena. Venerable Belanwila Dhammaratanathera expressed the following views during a conference held in Colombo.
Today's situation might change by tomorrow. We are living in such an unstable condition. Day by day, the situation of this country becomes worse. The government is carrying out a program that is destabilizing the country. I don't think they are worried about that. Sometimes I feel like they are doing this on purpose. The reason being, we have observed that America has been the reason behind many adverse effects on other countries. Now they have their hands on Sri Lanka. Their intention is to bring the situation in Libya and Iraq to Sri Lanka to destroy this country, to make this a country that works according to the liberal ideas of America. So the most unfortunate factor here is the main person who is responsible for the country, the Prime Minister, is someone who does not care about anything local. He doesn't care about the sovereignty of the country. He only thinks of the global community and dreams of satisfying the objectives of the global community. Regardless of what he says, he only tries to satisfy the international community. Venerable Belanwila Dhammaratanathera, who pioneered the creation of the Singapore Buddhist Research Society, also spoke about the central bank bond scam. We know that Ranil Wickremesinghe's best friend is Arjuna Mahendran. Where is he now? Where did he come from and where is he now? I think even today he is in Singapore. Everyone wants to bring him back if possible, but he won't. So with these affiliations, we can clearly see where the destruction of our central bank came from. All of these are things that were done to destabilize and destroy the country. But the most dangerous thing is the fact that the money that was stolen from the central bank is still circulating within the country. The money is being used to fund politicians to divide and separate people in the country. We must be cautious of that.
The 205th model village constructed under the Samarasevana housing project was vested with the public today under the auspices of Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa.
This model village has been named Sahasragama. The model village, which consists of 25 housing units, clean drinking water, electricity and infrastructure facilities, cost approximately 22.2 million rupees. Land deeds were presented to housing beneficiaries in line with the event.
Anasingha Premadasa අගමැතිකමේ ඉඳලා ජනාධිපති පුටුවට ගිහිල්ලා 44 ලක්ෂයක් දූ දරුවන්ට.
When my father served as the president, he provided free lunch to 4.4 million children. However, there is no more free lunch coupons now. Who stopped this coupon system? who's responsible for this have become overnight specialists who speak of nutrition. The people must decide. If Sajith Premadasa is their decision, with immediate effect, I will take over the responsibility of providing free lunch to all of our children.
ආහාර වේලක් ලබා දීමේ වගකීම ප්‍රේමදාසගේ පුතා බාර ගන්නවායි කියන එක මේ අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
As mentioned in the headlines, Attorney General Dapula de Oliveira has requested from Chief Justice Jayantha Jayasuriya to appoint a 3-judge bench to examine the case filed over the shooting of inmates and prisoners at the Valikada prison.
A case is to be filed against 3 people under 33 separate indictments for shooting dead of inmates and prisoners at the Valikada prison in 2012. The 3 accused are IP Neomal Rangajiva, former Valikada Prison Commissioner Emil Ranjan Lamaheva and Imaduage Indika Sampath, attached to the Valikada Prison Intelligence. The Attorney General requests to appoint 3 judges of the High Court to constitute a High Court at bar for the trial of the accused on charges mentioned without the presence of a jury. The AG informed the Chief Justice, Imaduage Indika Sampath, suspect number 3 is evading police.
Columbo Daka delivered the first ever modern cable-laying vessel built today. This ship is the biggest vessel both price-wise and length-wise, and is the first ship of its class to be built here in Sri Lanka.
The cable-laying vessel is 113.1 meters long in length, 21.5 meters in breadth, 8.8 meters in depth, with a maximum load-laying draught of approximately 7.1 meters. Has a dead weighing carrying capacity of 5,757 dWt and a speed of 14.5 knots with accommodation facilities for 80 individuals. The vessel is specifically designed and equipped with a focus on maintaining good sea keeping and an excellent station keeping performance. Passive rolling reduction tanks help minimize the effect of ship rolling. The ship also includes low-resistant hull lines, which is designed to help the ship reach higher speeds and reduce fuel consumption.
Apologizing for the technical glitches we experienced earlier on in the bulletin. Now taking a look at that story once again. Discussion on amendments to the Land Act was held at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday. The meeting was chaired by President Maithripala Sirisena.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and Ministers Dr. Rajasena Ratna, P. Harrison, Gayantha Karunathilaka, Daya Gamage, MP Vijaydas Rajapaksa and Ministry Secretaries attended the meeting. When we look at the destruction caused to the coconut plantations by the Pradeshya Sabhas in this country, it seems as if even this power should be taken away from the Pradeshya Sabha. You are trying to give powers to them to draft the minimum and maximum limits of all lands except paddy fields and irrigation lands. What do these minimum divisions mean? It means that powers are given to divide lands. Prime Minister, this should not be done to our country. This step enables the wealthy communities to purchase land. This will destroy the poor communities in our country. I am aware of this. This is from Gampaha. This was our fault. With regard to amendments, removing regulations on land is a huge mistake. There must be laws in place. Power should not be given to Pradeshya Sabhas. You are trying to do something disastrous through this act. All lands will be divided and sold. The wealthy community, the chairmen of companies will purchase all of them. My proposal is that all observations submitted by me should be accepted. If not, I will not agree.
Speaker Karu Jayasuriya addressed the Parliament today on certain facts arose on the matter where a foreign advisor was appointed. The facts were presented in letter tabled in Parliament. This was presented to the Parliament by Leader of the House, Minister Lakshman Kiriyalla.
Even during the previous government, such advisors have been appointed.
කෙසේ වෙතත් 2015 ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයේ ශක්තිමත් කිරීමට ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයේ ශක්තිමත් කිරීමට 2015 දැන් අපිට ජාත්‍යන්තර ආධාර එනවා.
Now we receive foreign aid. It's not like those days. We have received help from the UNDP, USAID, Westminster Foundation in Britain, International Republican Institute. Federico Mann Foundation in Germany, National Democratic Union, and NDL. In addition to this, parliamentary diplomacy is a new concept. Accordingly, we maintain ties with the majority. Exchange programs are conducted for ministers and staff in parliament.
What
about Gotabaya Rajapaksa? If getting aid from US is wrong, Gotabaya Rajapaksa is a citizen of America. Is that right then?
We
do not say that we are against appointing him as an advisor. We said that he cannot hold office inside this sovereign parliament while receiving a salary from America. Do not deceive the people. What I said was, if it is wrong to receive American aid for activities of parliament, as an American citizen, they are being paid for doing nothing. They get health care. So is that right? They did it for 20 years. The whole family were American citizens, green card holders. How many of them are here? So is that good? 2 people serving at the DAI Institute are assisting Parliament. They are former Additional Secretary of the Ministry of State Administration, International Expert on Management and Human Resources, G. Hettiarachi. The other official is the former Secretary to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the former Senior Ambassador Prasad Karyavasam. Many local and international training programs were conducted for the members of this House. All of this was done through these funds. They go to the Speaker's chambers in secret and request to be sent on these tours. So from today, are we going to travel overseas upon receiving these invitations? Okay, they say that they will not go.
අගෝස්තු මාසයේ සැප්තැම්බර් මාසෙ යන්න එපා එන යන්න එපා මෙයාට එපා කිව්වා එපා කිව්වා මේ හරි මේ මට ඕනේ මේ එපා කියන අය හරි ඒකට එහෙන්
They won't fund that. You will have to pay for it from here. As far as I know, I wasn't consulted when Hettiarachi or Amunugama or Karyavasam were appointed. That is not my duty, it is the duty of the party leaders. When the appointment was made, the party leaders can object to this. Even next week, they can all meet the Speaker. So if there is an issue that Karyavasam is an American agent, we did not appoint him. He was given an appointment in America by this government. The AXA agreement was signed under his government, and we did not object to that in 2007. We only signed to extend the agreement. All they are saying is that it is bad because we signed it. Not only American citizens, now they have American agents. We will hold a debate on why this was done. We have no problem.
ඇයි මේක කරේ කියලා අපි එහෙනම් විවාදයක් තියමු මේක අපිට කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. Who's your man in Washington? Our man in Havana is also a man in Washington. අන්න එහෙම වගේ යන්නේ.
We questioned the Speaker on this advisor who is paid by a foreign organization. However, the Speaker on that day evaded the question, saying that he will answer the question in Parliament. Today, the Leader of the House accepted that 2 advisors in Parliament are being paid by an American organization named DAI. We thank you for that. We question the office of the Prime Minister. Do you too employ people who are on the payroll of foreign organizations? We have a suspicion as to if Prasad Karyavasam was seated in a corner when $585 million was spent to overthrow the government. An American organization is advising the Elections Commission. An institution has been appointed to update all the data in computers and provide training on it. There is a person by the name of Vasu Mohan in this organization. He has come back again. We have a suspicion as to if they are trying to use American influence in the next election through the US State Department and the Elections Commission. The US Department of Justice sends a letter to the then Chief Justice, H.N.J. Pereira, asking him to send 12 Supreme Court and Court of Appeal judges in batches of 6 for training in America. The invitation is extended by Patrick J. Dealers, who is a person attached to the American Embassy. 3 High Court judges from Sri Lanka are sent for this. The 3 judges are none other than the 3 judges who are hearing the case against Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Permanent High Court trial at Bar. We saw the FBI coming in, many people who had received foreign training coming in. We saw the Hilton Hotel being leased out and under locked doors for 2 months up to date. We do not know what is happening there. We know that during the past, America was looking at where they can set up their base in the Indian Ocean. The island that they received in 1932, Diego Garcia, was what they used for their operations in the First and Second World Wars and in the operations in the Middle East in the recent past. But the ICJ has now ruled that the island must be handed over back to the Mauritius Islands. After losing a hold on this island, now America does not have a base in the Indian Ocean. We have a reasonable suspicion as to if America helped us to support the country or to establish their base in Trincomalee.
During a meeting with Dr. Hiroto Izumi, the Japanese Prime Minister's special advisor, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has said they made great progress on Japan-Sri Lanka economic cooperation.
Issuing a statement, the Prime Minister's office said he met with Dr. Hiroto Izumi, Ambassador of Japan, Akira Sugiyama, and his team at Temple Trees today. The release stated that Dr. Hitoro Izumi reaffirmed his government's commitment to develop East Container Terminal of the Colombo South Harbour as a joint venture partnership of Sri Lanka and India. Quoting the Prime Minister, the release added that the East Container Terminal will remain under the ownership of Sri Lanka, while there will be a joint venture with the partnership of Sri Lanka, India and Japan to manage the terminal. Minister Mangala Samaravira, Ravi Karnanayaka, Kabir Hashim, Malik Samaravikrama, Sagala Ratnayaka and Secretary to the Prime Minister Samaneka Nayaka, Secretary to the Treasury Dr. R.H.S. Samaratunga were present at the meeting.
With that, we wrap up Primetime News. I'm Bernadine Chayat Singha.
And I am Tarushi Kumar Singha. For a comprehensive report on all these stories and many more, log on to our website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. Good night and take care.